All right, so the unit we're going to start off with really easy in terms of how we mess you up is meters. All right. In science, we always work in meters. We do not work in kilometers. We do not work in centimeters. We do not work in millimeters. You might sometimes in biology, but biology is not that specific to units. Chemistry and physics are. Got to use meters. Now, I've put some different kind of rules all over the place. There's a way of thinking about it, remembering about it. 1 kilometer is the same as 1,000 meters. And I had some A-level students who just started A-level physics, and they said, A-level physics is so, I don't know, it's not. They go, I said, when you understand that everything is about ratio and proportion, in physics, I'm talking A-level physics, all becomes easy. So we know 1 kilo means 1,000, 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. Okay, how do you get from kilometers to meters? And I'm talking about the numbers. Why you times it by 1,000? The inverse of that, in other words, if I want to go from meters to kilometers, I do the inverse, the opposite. You divide by 1,000. And that's it. And either you remember a formula or you just picture it in your head. So then I think, right, so in my head I go, right, 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So what would 2 kilometers be? Well, that's 2,000 meters. All right, okay, yeah, I get it. Brilliant, lovely. Well, now we've got this funny thing, right? Centimeters. Now you can use this, you can times, if you're in centimeters, you can times by 0.1, 0.01, sorry. Or you can think of it this way. 1 meter contains 100 centimeters. Lovely jubbly. How do I get from 1 to 100? Well, I times by 100. All right, okay, cool. Then the opposite of that must be divide by 100. And I can use this now if someone says to me, dude, I got 30 centimeters. The first thing you think is when you're doing a physics question going, oh, you give me in centimeters. You know I can only work in meters. Well, how do we go from centimeters to meters? Well, you divide by 100, and that will be 0.3 meters. Okay. Now, the same is true for kilograms. All right? So, kilograms, I'm going to do this really rather quickly. Kilograms to grams is times by 1,000. Grams to milligrams is times by 1,000. You want to do it the other way, go for it. However, that is not the point of this. You have to be very, very careful with mass. In physics, we only work with kilograms, just kilograms. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to work with kilograms all the time. Kilograms. What are you doing? Kilograms. That's it. Chemistry is always grams. Now, I don't care if you times by 1,000 instead of dividing by 1,000. Practice makes you better. What I mind is this. And honestly, I've got year 12s. First year of A-levels is really well at GCSE. And like doing a chemistry question, like, sir, I keep getting it wrong because their units are in kilograms and it shouldn't be, it should be in grams. Everything after that is wrong. Okay? So today you're going to do the calculation. I want you to remember chemistry is always in grams. Okay? Physics is always kilograms. All right, so once you've done that, right, and you've listened to my dulcet tones telling you about my broad Yorkshire accent, you then do these questions here. Right? These are really easy. Well, they're not really easy. They're the easy versions of them. And after you that, what I'd really like you to do is concentration. Now, some of you will finish this quite quick. You've done it before. You'll be really cool. If you finish before the rest of us, here is a video for concentration. I recorded that earlier. When we've all finished this one, I will go and stop you all and talk about concentration. If you finish right before everyone, and there's no harm in that, then go on to this. Okay, watch the video first. The thing I want to tell you is, this is what I'm doing with year 9. Year 9 were amazing. I'll tell you why they were amazing. All of them underlined keywords. So the two things, I don't care if you're right or wrong. I care that you read properly. To read properly, underline your keywords. You change from a passive reader to an active reader. Right, sweethearts? That was only like 5 minutes.